Okay, Duncan. Well, just got off your last email. Okay, Duncan. I'm starting in. I'm still waiting on a reply from you, but I think I know what the answer is going to be, so I'm just going to jump ahead. Original and restored. Speedtimer 6139. 6031. It's original. Look at the paint on the sweep hand. I'll use some binder, and I know you're considering having new orange hands put on here, which I do have. I'll still repair this paint. It's easy enough to do, might as well do it. So you'll have the original hand set. This dial and hand loom is just junk. It's not doing anybody any favors. It's starting to already fall off. This isn't worth keeping. On your insert, yes, it's worn. But I'll clean it, and what I'll also do is I'll use a little bit of just very fine Damar varnish on this. What that'll do is it darken it down a little bit, and it will protect it. Okay. Come on, are you willing to run it all for me? No. Okay, well let's get going. Let's bring it back. Okay. Back to life. Here we are. I have the crystal off. I don't normally do it this way, but I want to try to tamp that hand down, but I don't know. We'll see how that goes. You have this, I'm not quite sure, the matte surface with the little sparkle specky things on it. I will clean the dial. I'm not quite sure what's up with that, but I'll clean it and see. The only thing is that when we have this kind of like, I don't know, heat damage, sun damage, moisture damage, is the printing on the dial can be pretty delicate, and I don't want to endanger any of that stuff. So what we do here is I'm just sort of looking at everything, and I want to be able to assess it without taking it apart. You can see the impacted corrosion under here. That's not a big deal. I'll get that off. It'll take some chemicals, but I'll get it off. I may not be able to save that flap of paint. I'll do my best, but you didn't ask me to do that, and I'm not going to put a ton of time into it because we're not reusing this handset. But still, I'll do what I can. Just an interesting note, this watch was serviced no less than 4 times. I see a number of marks in there. Pushers, that one says. Look at that. That's what it says. But we have marks here, 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 here. It's unusual. I mean, 4 servicings. That's pretty crazy. Is it 4? Let me look at this closely. That's not a signature. TG45691, whatever that means. RW/pushers 2. The middle one I can't read at all. I don't know, interesting. So it's been serviced a lot. Now this is a proof piece. It would have originally come with a 2-piece orange sweep, which I obviously don't have. I do have a 1-piece service sweep, a later orange sweep, and it's genuine Seiko, and they're rare and hard to get a hold of, and that's what I would use. Because obviously yours is also a service sweep. It's just faded orange. So we're going to put it back. We'll be putting the watch back to what it looked like when it was serviced at that time. Okay. So despite the water damage and etc. to the dial, we look at the movement. It's actually pretty clean. It still has the original JDM 21 joule movement, 6139A, early movement. It's got the red text on the balance bridge, and on this framework with ball bearings is what this is called. That's on the winding bridge, is what I call it, which isn't the right term, but who cares? But you see this red text, that's a JDM thing. 21 joules. We've got some diafix settings in there, which is going to be lots of fun. You can see the red there, 21 joules. And it looks pretty good, see? No moisture inside. Definitely still an A movement. Oh, that's always a nice thing to see. Okay, onward and upward. Well, usually it's pretty simple. We can see where the moisture got in. There is your crown and stem. If you look at the gear, see all that corrosion on there? That's where the water got in. Good stuff. But I'll be able to clean that up. But if not, I do have replacement gears because this should be smooth because this gear interacts with the indicator ring, which is plastic. So you don't want these gear teeth to be rough. You want them to be nice and smooth. Otherwise, they'll damage the gear. Okay. Now, the big key trick to getting these Seiko stems apart is heat, because they used adhesives, and they also clamped them down. These stems are brittle. They'll snap without a whole lot of provocation. It's one of the biggest problems with this case style is that the bottom of the crown is exposed, and if you hit it just right, it'll snap right off, and then the crown is junk because there's just no way that I know of to get the stump out because it'll go flush. But I went and to use it just feels like when you first play with these, they're really on there, and you can tell. And if you lean on it, yeah, maybe you'll get it off, but chances are equally good you'll snap it. So you got to heat the head up, and then it'll just come right off. There you go. See, there's your crown. There's your spring. Here's the gear. That's the thing. Oh yeah, you see that? Look, that's a little bit of the adhesive right there from the crown. That's what that is. Yeah, you sometimes get that, and you see that a lot. That's a big mistake that people make sometimes with 6105 crowns, is they do the same thing. They'll lean on them, and the stems will snap because they're not ductile. They're not meant to bend, and they'll snap, and that's the end of the crown. So anyway, there that is. I would suggest that we replace that. I have new ones, genuine Seiko. They're not terribly expensive, and that would definitely be an improvement. The rest of the stuff is fine. I can't believe I got an answer to this so quickly. The very last one of these I did was a January of the 6139s, and the dial was also January, and I was saying, wow, I wonder if Seiko ever does one, because it's usually the month before for the dial, whether I don't think I'd ever seen one. Well, here's the back of your dial, and this is January 1971, and this is, you can barely see it there, but that red mark, that's a 0 and a D. It's December 1970. Here it is. There's the proof. Definitive proof. Month before. That's crazy. Well, being that this is a JDM, we can see this one's going to have extra jewels, and so there's a jewel here instead of a metal bushing as in the other ones, and you can't see it. There's a jewel right there. That's for the minute counter wheel. The pinion of the minute counter wheel goes right there. So 17 jewels. That makes 18. That makes 19. Now I've already seen this, but I put it back on so you could get the reveal. There's the ratchet there. So we're going to see how the lower mainspring arbor port's been doing. Yikes! So the wheel has been, the lower part of the lower arbor is so badly worn that the wheel has been, this ratchet's been able to tip over like this, and that's brass. It's been able to grind into the face of the train barrel bridge. And that's some of the old S2 lubricant right there. That's what that is. It's not a big deal. Believe me, I've This isn't unusual. I mean, that's pretty severe, but when I get it cleaned up, it'll be fine. We can, let's go and let's pull this barrel and train bridge. There we go. And there it is, heart of the movement. And that's your chronograph wheel. Some gruck on it. Lots and lots of gruck. Damn it, I've got to come up with a better system. Your upper mainspring arbor bushing is, yeah, pretty worn. See that big gouged out shelf around the inside? So we're going to have to deal with that, because that's from the thing tipping over so much. That'll have to be cleaned out. There we go. We've got some nice gruck on your wheel. Somebody asked, hey, how do you check to see that these wheels are good? Well, there's a bunch of different tests we can do. Officially, you have a way to build up a tester using an extra bridge. And I certainly do have those. Let's see how it goes. Maybe I'll dig that up for you. I don't need it, but why not? So the Seiko servicing guide specifies to basically use parts of the watch as a tester itself. But what I did is I just built 2 testing rigs for testing the A and the B wheels, because they are, of course, different. So this is your B tester, and that's not going to be much good for us right now. So we use the A tester, and what this is it's a train bridge. It's a train bridge and a chronograph bridge with the springs and the operating levers in place. So you can basically, you turn this thing upside down and put that there. And this goes in here. Make sure that's seated where it is supposed to be. I'm kind of doing this by feel because I'm a little far away from it. Let me look at it briefly. No, that's correct. So you have it there. Let's go like this. Let's get a little closer. So you have your wheel. Gosh darn it. Normally I'm able to be right on top of this, so that's no fun. Then your lever should be able to work. So there it is, right? So let's get a nice camel hair brush. I don't think I was in flat on that one. Let me try it again. Yeah, I wasn't. Hang on. Okay, so now I had to be right on top of that. Let's see then. So that, the operating levers are in. Is that thing flat? Aha, see? That's what you want to test. Operating levers are in, and the center wheel section of this turns smoothly, as it should. See that? Nice and smooth. We see that that separates. So then we bop it again. We look at it. We can, and it does not move. We can do something as lame as just hold it literally with thumb and forefinger. Don't mind the dirt on my fingers. I'm cleaning a dirty watch. And we can see the entire assembly turns. There you go. It's a good chronograph wheel. That's how it's done. Okay, so we've got the rest of the train bridge side of things out. You can see the fantastic damage to the lower mainspring arbor port, which is what gave us all of that wear right there, where that ratchet wheel was grinding in. You can see it's all ovaled up, busted out to this side and ground down. But you can also see there's the diafix setting for the escape wheel, lower diafix setting. That's fun. So we'll get this machined out. It's funny, I'm turning this and it should really turn easily. This is so gluey. Wacky. All right, onward and upward, no surprises. Okay, so everything's out of the cleaner. It's always nice to see. And we have something so bright and shiny. You can see the new lower mainspring arbor jewel in place there. I'm at the end of my day, so I'm not gonna go forward tonight. I'll start it again tomorrow. There's the dial, all reloomed, and that looks nice. There's an hour hand, and here's a minute hand, and that's about it. I'm going to let this cure. I want to let this cure for at least 24 hours before finish assembling, so that I can make sure that none of the solvents that are in these things get inside a watch, because solvents and lubricants don't mix. So that has to sit, and I'll put it under a bell jar and let it think thoughts overnight, and then tomorrow I will come down. It's going to be snowing apparently, and I will come down and we'll get going on this and see how things go. Okay, see you tomorrow. Okay, well, it is the morning and here we are. So, time to start doing the stuff. Dial is all cured. Good to go. That looks nice, isn't it? Certainly looks better than it did. Okay, let's take a breath and get to it. I don't know why I said they. Okay, we are getting to the point of finishing the assembly of the top half of the movement here. I just thought it'd be fun. I didn't show you any of the other stuff. Honestly, it didn't occur to me because everything is normal. But after everything's cleaned, you can see all the crazy wear from that damaged lower mainspring arbor port. I mean, so much so that it was eating away this right here, which is wild. I don't see that very often. It spins freely. All the nice clean bits. Moving forward, this bushing was trashed, so that I pulled that out. There we go. Okay, well, let's keep moving. So it's been running in for a few hours now while I had to do some other stuff. But so far, I'm pretty happy with it. Pretty steady. Okay, but what I'm going to do, I've got some other stuff to do. I like to let these movements run in overnight. I really like to let them run in multiple positions before I do any final assembly, especially considering I'm going to be putting on some new hands, so that's going to be important. There were a few things I missed I would have liked to have shown you that I just forgot about because I just pushed forward, but you know, I think we're doing okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this to, I'm going to let this continue to run overnight. I'm going to do other stuff this afternoon. Tomorrow morning, I'll get back to it. Okay, so let's do it. Well, time to do some more things. Time to build your, where is it? Where are you? Ah, there we are. Time to build, oh, this light's in the wrong place, hang on. Okay, so there's the crown. There's your spring, and there's your stem. Here is your original gear, or as they call it, the world time bezel. And I have here, this is brand new old stock, genuine Seiko, the real thing. There's the old one. I mean, we could use this, but I'd have to really lean on it to get rid of that stuff, and we'd have rough teeth. And again, I'm worried about the gearing on the underside of your indicator ring, because it's just plastic gearing, and if that gets, you know, eaten up at all, then this ring is going to be no good. And these rings are quite rare. No one, I mean, there are aftermarkets, but the quality's not great. So let's protect what we've got. So that's my recommendation. So this is going in your junk parts, and it is time. Yeah, I'm lucky. World bezel pin. There it is. I've got some. Okay, cool. Okay, so it is time to set the hands. Yeah, I'm annoyed. I should have shown off how to dealing with the chronograph bridge on a the intermediary wheel on an A movement. That's important stuff, and it's not one of those things that you really know instinctively. Because a lot of these videos, I'm I don't know. I just don't have a lot of the knowledge in my head put anywhere. And, you know, if any of my kids ever want to try to figure this stuff out and I got hit by a bus, then all that knowledge is gone. So at least some of it is somewhere. But anyway, there's the one hand. You do this right when it's starting to push over midnight. Hopefully you get it to the point that it just goes click right there, but that didn't happen. Let's see where that does land. It's too much. Okay, so let me pull that hand and reset it, and that'll be, there we go. There. So there we get a little bit of a midnight thing going on, which is important. Okay, good. Good. Okay. So then we can set this hand. Darn it. Kids, if any of you kids are watching this, hopefully I will have told you about this before I punched out. Let's get that hand set. And of course I bonked the thing with my thing. That's always the way things go. Always bonking stuff. Let's see now. Yeah, that looks good. We got good hand clearance, which is what we want. Minute hand is coming up a little bit. That's not bad. Now we can go forward here. We push forward to 10 a.m. or so. There's that. And that's the position I like to use for when I'm setting new chronograph hands. That looks pretty good so far, huh? It's the original hands, original dial, all that stuff. You've got these little flaky things on the dial, but they're there for the duration. And I mean, there's no way for me to get them off. But obviously it looks much improved. I'm very happy with how the loom came out, because the dial and the hand loom is redone, but the pip is original. So I'm very pleased that they match so well. And that's one of the things I go for. It's supposed to not be this blazing bright white. It's supposed to be sort of a chalky bone white. And there we are. It looks so much better already. Okay, I'm going to set those hands, so I need to be right on top of it so I'm not dealing with that. And there it is. The power of cleaning. The insert still shows wear, obviously, but it's clean, and that certainly helps. I looked through all my things. I do not have a better insert or rotating ring or bezel for one of these. I simply don't. I did look. If you get it and you think that it's too worn and just bothers you, let me know. We can look and talk about putting an aftermarket one on there. But that's really the only option I have right now. But this insert and this bezel is original to the watch. So for me, I mean, that's kind of important. But anyway, I'm happy, very happy with how the watch came out. And it runs like a dream. Runs like a dream. The movement came out so well. 5 servicing marks in the case back now. And there it is. All of its glory. There's... I suppose I can just do all this stuff. Hang on a second. Not much in terms of bad parts. We had, obviously, there's your sweep hand. That's one of your seals. Here is your, darn it. There's the minute counter hand. Here's the world time pinion, which is what that is. There's more of the pieces of your seals. There's more in there. But, functionally, it's a great watch. It's a great watch. And I set this reset to come back a little light. And that's one of the things that I do for these, because I don't want to, because if I set it that it takes a ton of force to reset, you can really stress out the chronograph wheel. And so if you press lightly, like I just did, it'll come, it won't go bam and it won't snap back to here. It'll be a little slower, but you see, it's set perfectly as it should be. Cool. And that's about it. I'm so pleased, and I hope you will be too. Oh, whoops, look at that. Today is Thursday. Oh wait, it was on Thursday. Dingleberry. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and today's the 10th. There we go. There. Nice, huh? I think so anyway. Thank you so much for your patience. Thank you so very much for your patience. I really appreciate it. And I'm so looking forward to you getting your father's watch back. Thank you.